and today I'm going to show you guys me cooking my food. And I already did the first part, so I'm going to explain what I did and show you what I used because it's already in the oven cooking, because I had to put it in really fast because when I got home from school I had to do homework and help my brother and sister with homework, so I just put it in really quick and I forgot to film the steps. So I'm going to show you and explain what I did. Okay, bye guys. Okay guys, so you have to preheat your oven to 350, but mine is obviously already preheated, so it's already on 350. And when you look inside, you can see, let me turn on the oven for you. Let me just turn on the light. So this is the chicken. It's almost done. Okay guys, so all I did was open the chicken and I put it on a metal pan or a sheet, whatever you want to cook your chicken in. And then what I did was I put seasoning on. Now the first thing I put on was garlic powder, just regular garlic powder. Then I put paprika, and then I put sazon. You can either use these little packets, or if you don't have these packets, you can use this. This is adobo with sazon in it, and it comes together. But if you don't have this, you're gonna need the sazon packets and just regular adobo seasoning. So you can either buy these two things separate, or you can just get this little thing that has both of them combined. So we have both just in case, but I like to use this one because it's already mixed and that's less work for me to do. And the last thing you need to do is you need to put on some butter. Now this doesn't have measurements. You just want to make sure that when you're spreading it on, you spread each of it on, like all the seasoning on, like a thin layer of each of them. I don't really have a measurement for it. We just spread on, like we just eyeball it. So if you're looking for exact measurements, we don't have it. So for butter, we just take a half a stick of butter and we cut it into little squares and we just lay it like on each piece of meat, and then it'll just melt while it's cooking. So now it's been in there and we just leave it in there for 40 minutes to an hour. So what I'm gonna do now, since it's been in there for like 30 minutes and the butter's all melted, I'm gonna spoon the butter out from it's all liquid now. I'm gonna spoon the butter out and I'm gonna pour it on top of the chicken, and I'm gonna show you guys, hopefully without burning myself. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see all this liquid right here, but we're gonna scoop up this liquid and we're gonna pour it all over the meats just to keep the meats from not getting so dry. So that's what I'm gonna do to all of the meats, and I'll be back when I'm done. So all of them are all back to being saucy again, not so dry. So I'm just gonna put it back in to let it cook, and now we're gonna let it finish cooking. Clean up a little bit just so there's not much of a mess everywhere. So I'm just gonna finish putting everything away. And while that's cooking, I like to prepare the other things that I'm gonna start to cook when that's almost about finished. So the other things that I'm having with this meal, now this changes whenever we do it. We can either have rice with chicken or noodles or vegetables, whatever the day is. But today we are having Alfredo broccoli noodles, and this is fettuccine and broccoli in a Parmesan and Romanian cheese flavored sauce. And this is what it looks like. We usually buy this kind of brand all the time. That's what we usually eat in this house, but not the same kind, just this brand. So I need to do a little bit of math for this because it actually comes with directions, and I already have this pre-made. Yes. So what you're gonna need to do is take 1 cup of water and 1 1/2 cups of water and put it in a pot. But since I'm making 2 bags of it, I needed to put 3 cups of water in there because I have to double everything. And then I needed 1 cup of milk for both of these. So 1 packet calls for half a cup, but since I'm doing 2, I'm gonna need 1 full cup. So this is what the mixture is, just water and the milk. So all I did was add a little bit of salt. I just took a little sprinkle and poured it in. And now I'm waiting for the chicken to be halfway done so I can start boiling the milk and the water to start creating the noodles. And also with the noodles, we're gonna have vegetables. These are just canned vegetables, and it is corn and green beans. Yeah, it's corn and green beans. So those are the 2 sides in the main dish. So I'm gonna show you guys how I actually cook the corn and the green beans, because I don't just put them in the microwave. I actually add some flavor to that too. So first, I'm just gonna wait to do that later, just because I want to make sure the chicken's almost done, because that only takes like a minute to prepare and to cook. So I'm gonna wait until this is almost done, which should be in about like 20 minutes, and then yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys when it's almost done. Bye guys. Okay guys, so something that always happens in my house is our iced tea container is empty by the time dinner comes. So every single day before dinner, I make a new batch. Even if it's like this much left, I still make it because I know I'm gonna need to make it during dinner. Sorry, my dog scared me. So I have to make a new thing of iced tea, a new pitcher, I guess. So the first thing I do is I put a little bit of water in, and I just close it up, and I just shake it. And we got this from Walmart. It's a gallon jug, I guess, or bottle. So I'm just gonna empty that. And the iced tea we use is this iced tea. I like to use the American Choice brand, so I don't know why we got this. I guess we just took it. Now this actually calls for 8 scoops for 1 gallon, but in my house that's way too sweet, like way too sweet. So we have I only put in 5 and no one complains, so I'm just gonna stick with 5. And we have this funnel to make it a lot more easier, so I'm just gonna scoop in 5. And it also depends on the scoops. Like I use full scoops, but maybe I guess they wanted you to like not use full scoops, but I don't know. I just think that 8 is way too much for a gallon. So we stick to 5, maybe 5.5 if it's not sweet enough. And since I was talking, I don't remember how many scoops I put in. I think that was 3, 4, 5. You guys should count and tell me how many I put in. I think I'm just gonna put in another half because I really don't know. I don't know how much I put in. Hopefully it's not too sweet. And even if it was too sweet, I could just take some of it out. I could just take some of it out and then just put it back in. I could just add more water if it was too sweet. So this is what the powder looks like. So now what we're gonna do is take this whole thing, I guess, and then we're gonna fill it up just like 1/4 of the way, because I'm not that strong, so I can't mix it when it's full to the top. So I mix it halfway and then I add more. So I'll just show you guys what I do. So it's halfway. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close it and I'm just gonna shake it to get all the sugar to dissolve. Okay, so now that it's not at the bottom anymore, what I'm gonna do is open it back up and I'm gonna fill it to the top now. So this might take like a couple seconds, so you could probably skip if you want to skip. And I'm using cold water because it makes no sense to use hot water. I guess hot water would dissolve the things better, but hot water is just going to take longer to cool down. And since dinner's almost here, I'm not going to do that because it's going to be warm by the time they drink it. And no one wants to drink warm iced tea. So now there's bubbles forming at the top, and we don't like bubbles. So I just take them out and keep on filling until the water is the iced tea is at the top. Okay, so it's at the top. So even though I shook it, I'm gonna turn it over 2 times. And now it is done. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator to cool. Now that this is looking a little bit almost done, I'm gonna start cooking this. Well, putting the heat on. So I'm gonna leave it on 6 or medium-high heat. And there we go. So I'm gonna let this cook and I'll be back when it boils. But look how easy this is. Ready? Guys, don't mind the noise in the background. So the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna prepare the vegetables. So this is what the green beans look like, and this is what the corn looks like. I like to use sweet whole corn, and I like French style green beans, but we don't have French style, so we're gonna use what we have. So I'm just gonna open them and then drain the juice. So ready? Look, it's already done, so that was really easy. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate. Maybe not as easy as I thought. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna separate them. Maybe I do need this after all. Did not go as planned.
Just living.
There we go. So what I'm gonna do is try to open these again. There we go, I got an opening. And so after I put in the green beans, I put them in separate bowls because my family's picky. So my sister doesn't like to eat the green beans, so she only eats the corn. So I have to put them separate. So I have 2 bowls. Now what I'm going to do is use the same garlic powder I put on the chicken and just put a little bit on. And then use some of the Sazón and put a little bit of this on, if it would come out. There we go. And that's really it. And I was going to use butter, but the butter is not room temperature, so I'm going to use vegetable oil. Well, it's spread. It's vegetable spread. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter in each one. Again, we don't do measurements in this house. So if you're looking for a measurement, no. And now I'm gonna leave this in the microwave and I'm gonna cook it for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So that's it. Let's go cook it for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Time to go back to the noodles. I'm just gonna pour in both packets inside there. One packet in, second packet. And make sure you watch when you boil this, because I don't know why, but every time I boil milk and water, it always bubbles over. So just make sure you watch it. And I can't get this bag open. So just really make sure you watch it. Make sure you watch everything because you don't want it to burn the house. And if you're a child, do this with adult supervision. So now I'm gonna let this cook while I check on the chicken. Okay guys, so everything is done. I'm gonna show you a plate when it's all, when everything's all put on the plate. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys comment, like, subscribe. Say hi, Sam. And she'll see you guys on Friday, but I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Okay, I have one thing to say. You guys should watch The Walking Dead.
I'll see you next Tuesday. Or unless I do a prank, I'll see you then.
No, you're not.